Hi, I'm glad that you decided to come back to my 10 minutes in my Butterbox Junk Journal. If you've not seen any of the videos, there will be a link below to the playlist, and I encourage you to watch those. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. So I'm making this little journal. I've decided it's going to be kind of similar to what a travel journal would be like, but obviously a lot smaller. This is going to be one that you can stick in your pocket or in your purse. And I've already done the cover that was on a previous video. And I have an idea for an image, for a focal image on the front of the cover. So in order to make my idea happen, I needed some kind of a picture or a ship's wheel. I couldn't find a picture of it that I liked, so I decided that I would just make my own. And that's what I'm doing here. I found this cog, this wooden cog in my stash, and I have colored it with the chocolate bronze metallic gilding polish. And now what I'm doing is going over these toothpicks, and I'm going to use those to replace the spokes that are inside of that cog. Now, parts of this video I do speed up because, I mean, obviously you don't need to sit there and watch me you put the gilding polish on all four of those toothpicks, but just so you get the idea of what I'm doing. I'm not a huge chit-chatter, so it's kind of difficult for me to keep my dialogue going on these videos. I mean, eventually I hope that I get a little bit better at it. But for right now, I do kind of struggle with that. So if at times I just get quiet, forgive me for that, and just know that it will get better in time. What I've done here, I've used a hand punch, and I've punched, it's either like a 1/2 inch or a 3/4 inch circle, and then I used my hole punch, the bigger size of my hole punch, and those two circles are going to come into play here in just a little bit. I decide that I'm going to go ahead and color those as well. And I'm doing the little one right now in this, the red bronze gilding polish. And then I think, did I already do the larger one? No, I'm getting ready to do the larger one now with the chocolate gilding polish. Those things are pretty slick when they've got that gilding polish on them. They're hard to hang on to. I even used my tweezers there and still had a lot of slippage with them. This is my second time recording the voiceover on this video. As I said, I'm still learning the process of all of this. And my first one, I don't know where it went to. It's somewhere on my computer. I couldn't find it. I couldn't retrieve it in any way, so I decided to just do it again. So now I'm going to take these little jewelry pliers, and I'm going to cut down these toothpicks. Now, I do put a little public service announcement there that I did not damage my fingers in any way, even though at times the tips of the toothpicks looks like they stuck in the tip of my finger. They didn't. They didn't. They were just sticking, I think, to the gilding polish that I had on my finger. But everything's fine. I didn't get hurt. And after the fact, I do wish now that I would have maybe took a nail file or something and sanded down the edges of those toothpicks so that the ends would be a little bit smoother. And this is the cogwheel. I'm realizing now that the spokes in that are just not going to work with what I have in mind, so I'm going to go ahead and go in and remove those two. This is honestly, it's 10 minutes of the video here. The whole thing probably took me about 30 to 40 minutes because, you know, things came up and you have to readjust the plan that you have so that you can actually make it happen. And that's one of the things right there. I realized that those spokes weren't going to work. This is, I'm tapping that red bronze gilding polish onto the ends of the toothpicks, and it looked like it was going to be fine, but then after the whole thing was made, I do see where it kind of sunk into the toothpicks, if that makes sense. It didn't cover very well, and I do think that maybe if I would have done the sanding, it would have helped. I'm taking that ½ inch or ¾ inch circle now that I had covered with the chocolate bronze gilding polish. I'm putting some hot glue in the center of it, and this is what I'm going to use to put those spokes on so that I can hopefully get them straight. And they weren't too bad. They might not have been exactly the same size, but I think it turned out pretty good. This was one of the few times that I didn't actually burn my fingers on my glue gun. So I'm getting all them on there. And I decide to run some of the hot glue across the very top of all of those spokes just to kind of hold them all in place a little bit better. This is going to be on the front of the journal, so I wanted to make it as stable as I could get it. So now I'm going to put the cog on there, and you're going to see me in a minute bring in a black marker, and I just mark on the spokes where that cog falls so that I know where to put the hot glue to attach it. I'm really thinking about going back and like splattering maybe some brown paint and maybe some rust colored paint to just try to make this look a little bit more aged. It looks pretty shiny now with all the gilding polish on it. All right, getting that cogwheel on there. And then the last touch that I make to it is that small hole punch, or the hole from the hole punch. I'm going to put that in the very center just to give it a little bit more dimension, a little more texture. And like I said, I really think I will go back and do some kind of splattering or something to make this look a little bit older. I really appreciate you guys watching this video. And no kidding, if you liked it, I mean, please give me a thumbs up. And if you want to subscribe, I'm just getting started, but I have all kinds of ideas, and I really, really would appreciate it. So here it is, and I'm going to put it on a piece of paper and put it a little bit closer to the camera. And I appreciate you guys coming and watching the video today. I hope you will come back. Have a great day.